Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 15, Chapter 1, Time of Despair, Part 2. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. On the ground, the battle between Testarossa and the others in Velgrynd seemed to have begun, but the Pillar of True Red was still alive and well. Unbelievable as it may be, that's Velgrynd. To be able to distinguish a clone of the same level as the main body, what else could this be but a nightmare? But fear not, we also have strong reinforcements that break common sense. Gazel actually felt fear in his heart as well, in the presence of such an overwhelming presence. But Gazel didn't give up. And Gazel's enlightenment affected his companions and the knights, and by the time they reached their destination, all the fear in everyone's hearts had disappeared. The Pillar of True Red reached its destination. It was an open meadow large enough for a large army to dispose of. One of the men in uniform was particularly conspicuous, and that was Lieutenant Kondou. Others were Footman, Tear, and more than 30 of Yuki's companions. Together with nearly 50 men from the Imperial Emperor's Knights of the Near Guard, they protected Kigali by scattering around in case the ceremony was interrupted. Up to greet the landed Gazel and others was Kondou. I am honored to meet King Gazel, who has a reputation as a hero. You are? The head of the Imperial Intelligence Service, Lieutenant Kondou. Funny, you're the information-feeding geek. Funny, I will be your opponent. Draw your sword quickly. Hey, I'll take care of this. Ben, you just deal with the others and avoid getting in the way. You guys too. This guy can't be handled by anyone but me. That's right, we can't handle that one. At least we have to get rid of those who are in the way so King Gazel can concentrate on his fight. Got it. All hands, listen up. Quantitatively we are more, but do not underestimate the strength of the opponent. Aerial warfare in groups of 5. The Knights of the Order are good at the tactics of attacking overhead, but this time, they are using the numerical advantage to mobilize the opponent's battle plan. Believing in His Majesty's victory, I will complete my own mission. Besides, reinforcements will be here soon. Ha 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 ha. I'm a little late. This big guy is heavier than I thought. It took a lot of work to get here. Get on the big ship and enjoy this battle. That huge object was the Floor Guardian Colossus statue, which was transported by 100 people by human air. This is a problem that needs improvement. Since it's all moved here, I'll make an effort. Now is the time to take credit, and sit down in the Floor Guardian Colossus with all your energy. Gadra looked at Kondou and immediately looked away again. Seeing that King Gazel was dealing with it, he felt that it was not his turn to interfere. And then he saw Velgrynd. Is it true that the real face of His Excellency the Marshal is Velgrynd the Scorch Dragon? But if so, Damrada's intentions are lost on people. Has he really sworn his allegiance to His Majesty? Saying something about protecting Masayuki, was it necessary to give such an order to the Bani group? I don't get it, but it's not something to worry about now. If Velgrynd does it, the battle is over, and to avoid that, I'll have to keep an eye on it. Thinking about it, Gadra fired the Floor Guardian Colossus towards the elegantly standing Velgrynd. Watching Gadra walk past, Gabel flew to Dorf's side. Lord Gadra seems intent on dealing with Lord Velgrynd. We'll do what we're supposed to do and we'll get rid of all the people who get in the way. Oh, you're so reliable, Lord Gabel. Then let's fight together. My team will rush ahead, and the reinforcements will be yours. Understood. Then, Sir Dorf, the command is in your hands. Wait a minute. Now, without first discussing it, did Gabel's action take Dorf by surprise? Ha. I am Gabel, the Dragon King. Let's go for it. Gabel-sama is going alone, so that man's strength is outstanding. Yeah? Doesn't it look like you're just a weak-eyed kid who's good for clerical work? For some reason, Phobio the Panthertooth, of the 3 beastmen of Carrion, has not returned to his country, but has come with Gobia. Gobia, though happy in heart, now led the Kurenai, and had to be serious in official duties, so began to admonish Phobio to be careful. Sir Phobio, your strength is indeed praiseworthy, but it is necessary to exercise your eye for the strength of the enemy. How poignant, Gobia. Don't call me Sir Phobio. This is a combat operation. Please distinguish between public and private. We're here to bide our time. Nowadays, it is no longer possible to achieve the conditions for tactical victory, and combat has failed. Based on Lord Velgrynd's change of action, there is a chance that we could be swept under the rug. If one is only thinking about survival, one should be single-mindedly running away, but right now we cannot make that choice. In short, the key is to reduce the number of people who get in the way as much as possible and to ease the burden on His Majesty Rimuru. Exactly how many other bodies Velgrynd would be able to divide is unclear, but the awareness to stall this is already there, and then if possible, try to stop the ritual that Kigali is performing. Do you want to kill yourself? No, His Majesty Rimuru will never allow us to die. So, no sacrifices allowed, no one. If Velgrynd made her move, there was no way to stop her, was there? Then give it to His Excellency Gadra and we'll run away. Alright, I didn't want to complicate it so much, just messed with him a little. It seems there's some karma in there, too. How can we not say hello? Phobio had tasted miserable failure in the past by being duped by Footman and Tear, but that was all because he was too immature to resent them either. Rather, it's a food that also gains growth and even a little thanks to them. Don't force it. I can't make this deal, but I swear I'll try to stay alive. With these words, Phobio joined the war. Lieutenant Kondou confronted King Gazel. Ben and Henrietta, on the other hand, went to deal with Footman and Tear, Phobio, who had broken in, and Gobia, who was intent on seeing the situation. And with that, the respective battles began. Seeing the way Gazel's sword was raised, he couldn't help but sigh. Tease, that's beautiful. The sword sage doesn't look like he's a fool. Don't be ridiculous. It's just sarcasm to hear you say that. The current Kondou was holding the saber in both hands. And even more surprising, the two were exactly the same as if they had made a date. After several rounds of silent sparring, the two have largely grasped each other's strength, so it is no coincidence that they are already convinced of the same frame. Gazel's sword skills were learned from Hakuro, and there were also some unique sword skills woven into them, but the basic stance was still faithful to Hakuro's teaching. Hakuro's Mizushian sword art was inherited from his grandfather, Araki Byakuya. No one other than Hakuro passed on the genre. Even Gazel, who was a direct disciple, did not have a full grasp of the Mizushian, and he knew very well that there were mysteries that he had never seen. However, in the land of monsters, Hakuro was responsible for training soldiers as an instructor, and of course he would teach them the basics of swordsmanship, but it was hard to imagine that swordsmanship would spread from there to the empire. After all, sword skills were not something that could be mastered overnight. So, Gazel asked for the exit. Coincidentally, Kondou asked the same question. That style, why do you know Mizushian? I always thought it was possible that His Majesty's sword skills were similar to my Mizushian lifestream. Who did you learn this from? The Mizushian lifestream, are you saying that it's different from the Mizushian? In the Dwarven Kingdom, the combination of a one-handed sword and a shield is the mainstream orthodox swordplay, so it seems that the existence of a certain magical creature with great swordplay skills is linked to this information. Faced with such a Kondou, Gazel asked as if anxious. Aren't you going to answer my question? Don't worry about it yet. Mizushian is probably the same genre as the one I studied, so I'm asking, is it possible that the same genre can be derived by chance in this world? My master, His Excellency Hakuro, has heard that his grandfather taught him the Mizushian. It's said that his grandfather was a visitor from the other world, so that explains it. Unbeknownst to both Gazel and Kondou, Araki Byakuya had a younger brother, who had become the originator of the Kaikyo sect in place of his older brother, and who taught the Mizushian lifestream in the world where Kondou was born. Kukuku, it's funny to be in the same family. He never shows any emotion in his life, but this smile highlights his coldness. I have a proposal, Your Majesty, Gazel. What? Fellowship. With His Majesty Gazel's strength, he is strong enough to join the Empire. If you can swear to disarm and serve our Emperor, I promise you I will stop all aggression against your country. Do you think I will accept your proposal? Yes, I will. It's the best way to reduce casualties. This was a desperately needed proposal, and it was only right to accept it if the people of the Dwarven Kingdom were to be protected. As monarchs, one should not be bitter, one should accept. Ridiculous. You think you've already won. It seems you don't know that you've lost Kondou. See how I correct you for your arrogant thoughts. It's a pity that the so-called Sage King is just a name. Then there's no other way. I'll take care of you before your reputation goes down the drain. These words are the signal for war between the saints. A few minutes passed. Kondou is starting to get the upper hand. The heroic hegemony, released by Gazel, was easily counteracted by Kondou, and by winding the hegemony, all the effects were nullified. The same kind know each other too well. Slowly, Gazel's counterpart gradually became slower, acquiring more sword skills or Kondou. Indeed, there is a sword skill that is not passed down from the Mizushian lifestream, but even I, who is close to my bloodline, can't grasp the full picture. I'm still wondering how far the monster has come to understand the essence of the sword. But this was in no way a despise for Hakuro. The sword path is profound and unending. Kondou says this because he is proud of his genre. But this angered Gazel. Is this an insult to my master? Gazel glared at Kondou even more imposingly. And then, there was one more. I say, Lord Gazel, it's easy to lose your mind on the battlefield, it's not enough to cultivate. I'll take your place for a while, and you stay here and calm down. Hakuro, who led the follow-on troops as Gobyu's counselor, arrived belatedly.